Hello and welcome to the Gray Area, where we're just a podcast and we're two dudes having a conversation.
As a quick reminder, nothing we say is intended to offend anyone, but we do welcome your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And that is especially important with this particular podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So go for it.
Today we're going to be talking about. Oh, I have the picture popped up here. It's we're going to be discussing whether this is justice. How Lamar Lloyd got sentenced to 24 more years than Chase Leglater. I'm going to butcher his last name.
That
Chase
is a
L.
terrible last name.
Yeah.
Let's go with just Chase and Lamar. Let's do that.
Yeah, they both did the same crime.
Right. So basically, in I think it's Florida that they were charged. The way that their court system works is they measure everything on a point score sheet. So the photo that we have pulled up, it shows that they have the same amount of total points.
Yeah.
Because they both committed similar crimes. It's the same charge.
Yeah.
So it equaled the same amount of points. But Chase, who is a white 19-year-old male, got 2 years, where Lamar, who is a black 21-year-old male, got 26 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to be discussing that and whether or not that was just.
So, I guess just like off the bat, I think this just seems kind of racially biased. The only difference I could really see between these two Lamar's 21. Like, he's 2 years older than Chase. But he's black. And do you know when this happened?
They were charged in I think it was 2009. They were charged on the same day. It was in April of 2009. I think.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it's been like 11 years. I'd say like 10. Regardless,
it's coming up now, of course, with everything that's going on
with all
in the United States and now in Canada.
And in a lot of other countries, apparently, too, which is pretty awesome.
So basically, the outcry, I'm 100% behind. The looting, not so much, but
yeah, that's a whole that's
a whole nother podcast.
Exactly.
But with this one, it resurfaced, obviously because of I'm gonna be honest with you, the clickbaitiness of the title, because it says
same crime,
2 guys, same crime,
same courtroom,
different color, literally same
judge, same day,
and they are 24 years different sentences.
Yeah.
But the thing that we miss with a photo like this is literally all the context.
Yeah, what happened during the robbery, I guess.
Yeah, because they are extremely different. But as far as like face value with the thing, what's your like initial reaction though?
When I first saw this, when you first sent this to me, I just thought, this is just classic racial bias in America. You know, it's it's Florida, so I don't I don't expect too much. But yeah, I honestly don't see why. Again, I don't have context to why Lloyd got sentenced to 24 more years, but just my initial reaction was, that's just some racist stuff right there. Like, can't look past that.
That's fair. From my first glance, of course, I'm just like, oh wow, yet again another case of the American justice system not being just.
Yeah.
But then I thought to myself, I was kind of like, there is very limited details here.
Yes.
That seriously limited details. Yes, they got the same points for the same crime and got different years, and yes, they're different color of skin. but that's pretty much all we're given, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it should be like I don't know how the point system works exactly, but if it works like you get this amount of points for this crime, you get sentenced to this years and this many years, and it's like a flat value, then I just think this is racist. But I don't
So, so I
know
looked into
how the point works. Yeah.
it. Basically, okay. Flat out,
Yeah.
this photo is incorrect
Okay.
because yes, it's the same charge.
Mm-hmm.
However, Lamar has 2 counts, whereas Chase only has 1. So
Oh.
what happened was Chase and a group of 4 of his friends, so 5 people total,
Yep.
robbed a few people in like somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just a couple people in like late night. But it was 5 against like 2 guys. They robbed them at and they were armed.
Yeah.
Lamar, him and one other robbed a Pizza Hut and a gas station at gunpoint.
Okay.
So Lamar was already going to get double whatever, even if it was exactly the same. Lamar
Yeah.
was already going to get double.
Okay.
So the way the point system, the way it worked out is, they have like a minimum sentence based on the score sheet, where it's like if you get this amount of points, it's minimum 7 years,
Okay.
unless there's exceptions.
Yeah.
So for both of them at that level of points, for each count, they get 7 years. So Lamar was going to get 14 years, and then they are subject to go anywhere above that because it's 14 years to life, depending on the extra details of the case.
Yeah.
And Chase didn't get 7 years. So again, at first glance, you're kind of like, hey, look at that. That seems still really racist.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 years. I mean, that's a 5-year difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, wait. So, what was Chase's exception? If, like, why did he get only 2 years instead of the 7 that he should have?
So, from what I was reading,
Yeah.
he made sure that the other 4 got caught and convicted
Oh, he snitched.
because, yeah, basically he's so he got stitches because snitches get stitches.
Okay.
So he snitched on all the other guys, and both the guy who was defending Chase and the guy who was prosecuting Chase said that he was too young to fully understand his actions and their consequences, which I think there's a little bit of gray area there.
Mm-hmm.
But even the prosecutor was like, yeah, because the rest of the friends they influenced him, and Chase was only in possession of a firearm but didn't use it or like hold it out in order to get the money. That was his friends.
Okay.
So all of those were taking down his score. But he had already been in jail/prison for 2 years leading up to his court date, so they let him go that day.
Okay, so he was serving the 7 years.
Yeah, while his case was pending.
Okay.
Because they basically hold you until your court date, and then the judge decided that his 2 years was enough, given the amount of help that he gave and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, also he spent 2 years, in the county jail in comparison to this guy's getting 26 years in prison, which is a big difference as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, given context, I can understand why Chase got such a light sentence.
Yes. Here's some more context that'll pull you in the other direction, though.
Okay.
This judge, in his repertoire, has been known I didn't see any specific cases,
Mm-hmm.
but it said in the articles I was reading that he has been known to give people of color longer sentences or like higher fines.
That I'm not surprised about. Like, I was gonna mention, um, that because he had two accounts. He had two accounts of armed robbery, and that's 7 years each minimum, right?
Yeah, so he's
So
got 14.
14 years for sure. That's just what's gonna happen.
Yes.
And then they just sprinkled on an extra 12.
Okay. So he robbed a Pizza Hut
Yeah,
during business hours with children in the building and threatened the cashiers at gunpoint.
that's fair. That's fair. I guess. Yeah, you're. That is a good point.
And
Um,
then
and then
went
he
to a
did the gas station and did the same.
Yeah. Now, his buddy
Yeah.
ended up serving the same amount of time, I think,
Okay.
or a little bit more, because he was more aggressive with his firearm.
Ah. Neither of
Yeah.
them used it though.
No, they didn't. They didn't shoot anybody.
Okay, so I guess given basically all the context I really need.
That's all the context I got.
Well, yeah, all the context. I wouldn't see this as racist. I mean, yeah, I feel
it's
like
a little racist.
a little racist, yeah.
Because the judge has been known to do stuff like this,
Exactly.
but I don't think it's like
This is not an
super
equivalent. I don't think you could compare these two cases.
yeah, they're not at all. I mean, they're kind of similar, but they're not similar enough to be like same counts,
Oh yeah.
different sentences. That's not.
I mean,
That's
this
not
is
how
just
it works.
this image is just classic media gaslighting.
It totally is.
Because I mean, yeah, when you look into it, Chase, he fucked up, but he snitched, and he already served. Yeah, he fucked up, and he's young. Whereas Lamar he did it to himself, I guess.
Yeah. See, the thing is, though, especially in a time like now, when the push for complete equality between all races, which of course should be, like, obviously,
Of course.
come on. When things like this come out again, people are like, "Oh, look at this, another class of classic racism." And
Yeah.
no, you need to look into it. So I feel like this kind of gaslighting, like you mentioned, is honestly not healthy for the debate. It's just it
just makes people look stupid at the end of it.
it does because like if you I took 5 minutes and looked into it, and it's like, really? I mean, come on.
I mean, people don't look into shit. That's the problem.
That's the danger of stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, see that judge, I think we should probably look into some of his other cases to define how much race actually played a factor in the outcome of that case. But
I mean, at the end of the day, he was going to get at least 14 years, and with the, I guess, like, aggressive nature of, or not nature, but how aggressive he was.
Yeah, the
played a good
action
toll.
performed, and well, because it's like they're so different, the two of them, that comparing them is like not even smart. You know,
It's you would only compare those two, just to get people riled up.
Exactly.
Because yeah, it's like it's just they're not similar in any way. I mean, the only similarities they share are the fact that it's an armed robbery, and they both got 138.2 points.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
with any context, they are nowhere near like. Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, even if we took off one of Lamar's counts, let's say he didn't rob the gas station, and
Okay.
we just split off his 12 extra years,
Yeah.
he would have got, oh, math, please don't fail me now.
13? If you
Yes. 13 years.
Which is
Which,
basically
which
two cases. Or two
yeah,
accounts of, you know. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not one to say how many years in prison somebody deserves to suffer. I mean,
yeah.
well deserved, but they still are kind of suffering.
I mean, yeah, that's prison for you. But
Yeah. This besides,
yeah,
I can't say like
see
26 years is a long amount. That's so many years.
yeah, he's gonna be released in 2034.
That's half ish. That's like a quarter of your life, almost, a little bit more.
Yeah, that's so. Do you know how much happens in 26 years?
You know how much happens in freaking 1 year, man? Like
Exactly times 26.
times 26 is that's yeah.
You see, the one thing that I did have an issue with when I was looking into it
What's that?
was when they said that Chase didn't fully understand his actions.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Because okay, I I'm not saying that because
Okay,
I'm not gonna lie to you. The full implications don't fully fit into people's minds.
that's
Like,
fair. Yeah,
especially during that time of life when your brain isn't all there,
mm-hmm.
where you're just kind of like, um,
You're just
developing
trying to
and
following the
you
lead,
just oh,
and if he's
yeah.
getting influenced by other people, you
I
know,
know. I mean, if you look at this guy's face, I mean, look at that. That is a follower face.
he. Let me
Yeah,
see.
actually, one thing
Yeah.
I did just remember: Lamar pled guilty to his charges.
Oh.
He was like, "Yep, I did that,
Well, at least
do
he's
that,"
smart.
but his accomplice didn't. That's why he got more years, because he was just like, "Nope, I didn't do it," so he got convicted. Obviously, because they were caught like a few hours after they robbed the gas station in Pizza Hut.
Wait.
So
Sorry. So, Lamar pled guilty.
yes,
His partner didn't.
correct.
So she got more years.
The accomplice.
Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I thought you were saying Lamar got more. I was like, how the fuck does that work?
No. No.
Okay.
So it
okay.
just it popped into my.
That's fair.
But the thing is though, if Chase didn't fully understand his actions,
Mm-hmm.
he and Lamar are only 2 years apart.
Yeah, like you. I don't think you could say
I
that
feel like you could make the same argument
with Lamar.
on both.
Yeah,
You know, like
21. You're
now,
still young. You're a young adult.
I don't know either of them. Like,
Of course.
and of course it'll be on a case by case basis whether or not you can make that plea, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it would have been worth considering or taking into account that they're only 2 years apart, like
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know. I feel like yes, he's 19 years old, but if you're gonna run up on somebody with a gun, like you already, dude.
you know full well that what you're doing is incorrect.
You're thinking
Like,
about it, and it's like it's all premeditated.
one thing that is noteworthy though,
Yeah.
he was only in possession of a firearm. When I was reading up on the case, he didn't like
Use it or
so he could
threatened
have
it.
been just chilling with his buddies,
and
and
yeah,
his buddies were just like, "Oh hey, let's go rob these people," and he's just like,
sure.
heck yeah." It's like, so we don't know. He could, for all we know, he could have just been standing there with his friends
And then
while
they
they
just
did it.
did it. Yeah.
And that could be why he ratted them all out. Like,
He's like, I'm not falling down for this. Yeah.
See, that's another big difference between these two.
Lamar
Chase could have just been there by chance. Lamar knew damn well he was going into the store to rob it.
I mean, he pled guilty.
He did, because he knew he did it.
And so
did well, Chase pled guilty too,
okay,
because he was there.
Oh yeah,
like he knew he was there, and then he was like, yeah, all these other guys were here too. And
oh yeah, he's snitching.
It like if you didn't plead guilty, you're like, no, I wasn't there, but I saw all these other guys there.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
That's
fair.
That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, people have done it in the past. Okay, it's not going to stop people from doing it.
I get that, but
you're right.
So, I mean, given context, what's your opinion of the whole thing now?
Okay, so when I first looked at this, I thought, yeah, this is just straight up racist. Just looking at it, I mean, it obviously is made to look that way.
It's totally made to look that way.
But given context, I can understand why Chase got 2 years in comparison to the 7 he should have got, and then why Lamar got sentenced to 26 years. I mean, 26 years is a long time. I don't know if he deserved 26 years. He did deserve definitely 14, if not, at minimum, if not more. But I don't know about 26. It's not my call to make, but yeah. So, with given context, I think this is just justice, I guess. The American justice system at its finest.
Oh man, don't get me wrong. This is on this case specifically.
Yes.
There has been
way more
where I can definitively say this was racist.
This was racist. I mean,
but as far as this particular
case
photo goes, where they're directly comparing Chase to Lamar, it's uncomparable.
This ain't racist. This is not fully.
If we looked at Lamar's case individually, we could say, hey, that was slightly racist. But comparing the two, that's like comparing a porcupine to a pufferfish. Like, hey, look, they both have spikes. That's about it.
That's about it.
These are nothing alike.
Just flat out race baity.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay. Given this, since we're talking about the justice system and the racism within it, do you think that because of course we mentioned that the judge has been consistently giving harsher sentences to people of color, do you think that with this whole movement that we are going to need turnover in our in judges and juries?
Definitely. I mean, the problem's been there for forever, right? And it's only gonna go away if there is a major change, and it needs to happen, because BS what's happening today, it's what happened throughout in the entirety of American history. It's just gonna keep going. We don't need any more black guys, who stole a Snickers, getting sentenced to 7 years in jail, where the same crime can happen and only get a slap on the wrist for a little white kid.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like the first thing that we're gonna need to check is
police.
It isn't law. I think it's gonna be judges.
Judges?
Because I think it's gonna be judges. Don't get me wrong, because police and judges, there's going to be those people who are just racist.
Yep. I mean, there shouldn't be.
Don't get me wrong. I didn't say there should be.
Perfect system, yeah.
Ideally.
But America's not perfect.
Nowhere's perfect. Yeah. But I feel like the first thing that we're going to need to take a look at on an individual basis are judges, because police officers are trained to do certain things, and there are certain police officers who do not follow what they have been taught, which is incorrect, and it is unfair to assume that all police officers would have handled the situation the same way.
Completely agree.
Whereas with judges, it's, first of all, there's a whole lot less judges to look at, because once you make it to the courtroom,
You just stay.
then they can, clear you out, or, give a just judgment.
Yeah.
Because the thing with police officers is they're not trained in law to the extent that judges are.
Of course
or
not.
Lawyers, right? So they can't make that call. They have to bring you, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing something, like, even if it's disorderly conduct, where you're causing a ruckus, flipping shelves at Timmy's because they got your iced mocha wrong.
Will happen.
And see, the thing is, if you have a white guy and a black guy who did the same, they'll both end up being arrested, like, regardless.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to their actual penance or judgment, that comes down to the judge. And if the judge is racist, then it's going to be worse off. So I think we need to reform judges first before we look at police force. Those also need to be looked, but I think judges need to be first.
That's fair. I mean, I think right now, a change in the police force would be almost ideal with the current circumstances. Like, if they implemented, I'm not gonna say specific methods to implement to make life better, make life better for others, but like, if they implemented some kind of new rule or a new technique or something to deal with situations like riots and the treatment of people of color or people in different regions, I feel like then we might see a little more peace in the states, at least. Because right now they're pretty aggressive when it comes to the way they do things, and I don't think being aggressive is completely the way. I don't think it's the right thing to do all the time.
I agree that it's not the right thing to do all the time.
Yeah.
I would disagree that it isn't necessarily the right thing to do right now, because I'm going to be honest with you. The riots that are happening are crazy. And
true.
These people, because they're all just full of adrenaline, are doing things that are not what would be beneficial to either side.
That's fair.
Where they're just trashing the places. Because don't get me wrong, the protests are fine.
They're great.
Because they're peaceful. The riots are not fine because they're just destroying stuff, which then has now the police have to come in to protect the businesses and the people who are innocent and not rioting. So they have to use force to stop people from using their force. Now the police are looked at poorly, and the people are looked at poorly.
I mean, right? I feel like if we were to reduce aggression on both sides, that's easier said than done. But it would
that would be ideal.
Yeah, right.
I completely agree with what you just said. Yes, let's just everybody calm down.
I mean, I guess stop the people. For at least like protesters, I feel like they should. And I see a lot of them doing it when I'm watching videos of protests. They're trying to stop people from starting riots, from looting, from causing property damage, because they don't want to be tear gassed and beaten. As we've seen some police force, or I don't want to say police force, because I don't think all the people in riot gear are necessarily officers.
Yeah, some of them are soldiers,
military. Yeah, so but if they if the protesters are stopping people from rioting, then I feel like maybe there should be less, or maybe the force or the police force or the task force, whatever, should be less quick to just like bite the bullet, get the right gear on, and just start gassing people.
Yeah. See, the thing is though,
Yeah.
like even if you have 1,000 good people, right,
Oh,
who are
yeah.
protesting, and one person who's just has a stick up their butt sideways,
Yeah.
and then they just, for whatever reason, completely hate the cops. They want to riot.
Mm-hmm.
They stab a cop because he didn't have riot gear on.
Yeah.
Now everyone starts freaking out, losing their minds.
Yeah.
More people get hurt.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like the main thing that I would look at is not de-intensifying the like look of the police, but maybe their actions. Because I saw a video where it was like this like 70-year-old guy like dropped his cane, so he was trying to get it back, but because there was the wall of cops going, he couldn't get to it, so he was walking along slowly because he couldn't go any faster, and a cop pushed him over, and I'm like, no, not okay. Like his head was bleeding, and both officers were sentenced and convicted.
Good.
Because that's what makes sense.
That's
like
horrible. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
See, things like that make sense to me, but when it comes to, oh, I don't like the police officers, so I'm gonna go steal $10,000 worth of Gucci. Like, no.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
for me, if people, like, at least for the looting, if people are gonna loot, do it in a way that will do it in like a political way. Don't fucking rob Target. You're not like
they're not robbing Target. They're robbing like the expensive designer stores so they can resell the stuff. And it's like, what's wrong with you people?
They're robbing everywhere, but like, don't rob Gucci. Don't rob like these. How are they? How is doing that helping or benefit the cause in any way? Like,
how's it benefiting anything? Like, it's not even. It's just dumb.
You're just stealing because you can, and it's stupid. And if you do it, shame on you.
Okay, I will say though that the protesters are being treated like rioters in some cases.
Yeah, I mean,
'cause I was talking to someone, and it was like because there's a space like outside the White House or whatever.
Oh, Lafayette Square.
Yeah, and they were protesting, and at 6:30, which is half an hour before the cutoff for like protesting, when the
curfew,
current president, the curfew. That's what the president sent out military to clear them out, and they're like, but it's not 7 o'clock yet. And he was like, no, you're getting out, or we will tear gas. And it's like,
they did.
Yeah. Excuse me?
And
no, that is wrong, incorrect. That's not how we should be handling these protests. Like,
I mean, it's crazy.
It's a mess because we have the protesters who are trying to get something good accomplished, which should have been accomplished like
long ago.
And we all have the nerve to call ourselves civic. Like, I honestly think that sometimes it's like, seriously, people. Honestly, honest, both sides. Like, police. Why are you shield checking a man to the ground to make his head bleed? Rioters, why are you
burning down businesses that don't have anything to do with the oppression of your own people?
Protesters and rioters, why are you classifying all police as absolutely horrible?
I mean, there is a big problem with the police system in America. But
I get that. But that's because the ones who are bad make headlines, which makes the whole force look bad, even if you have 1,000 good cops. Just like I was saying before. If you have 1,000 good cops and one who's just got a stick up his ass sideways, he ruins it for all of them.
He certainly does.
And like, I'm not justifying the acts of either side. Like, stop rioting, stop shoving old people to the ground, like both of you. I feel like a freaking parent. Both of you, stop it.
Both of you, quiet. Go to your
room.
rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
2020's been too much.
You know, in 2020, go to your room could be used both in the racism debate and for COVID.
True.
Everyone go back home.
Yeah. Personally, I think if the protests are going to continue, which I think they should, I think there needs to be at least some guidance in this whole movement. And a lot of people are speaking out, which is great. But until somebody, like, does something, like, actually does something to progress this movement forward or to help people, then it's just going to be the same shit, different label every day.
I completely agree with that. You know, everyone... I like using this motto personally when I'm at work, because I work with a bunch of accountants who really like talking about what the solution is, but not actually doing the solution. So if it's great to talk, good, get everything settled the way it should be.
Yep.
And then execute. Okay, and it's like, the thing is, there's so much, well, not so much, but there's good guidance of, like, relevant media people,
yeah,
and bad guidance, because you look at the two Paul boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Logan Paul, on his super popular podcast, was in complete support of the protest. He was on a front line of a protest. He was protesting peacefully, and he was all good. And then you look at Jake, who's
looting,
filming himself looting, and is, I think he's being charged. And it's like,
well,
Jake.
Yeah.
Why? We know that your followers are smart enough, quote unquote, to repeat your actions.
True.
Why wouldn't you use your power for good, like Logan's doing?
And
I don't like Logan Paul personally.
I don't like either of them.
I don't like either of them. But at least Logan has the decency to use his social media power
for good,
to do something good.
Yeah.
Jake's just an idiot.
And I feel like a lot of other influencers, oh yuck, people, media stars are also, they're using this movement almost as like a look at me. They're using it just to get clicks. Sometimes I feel sometimes. I mean, it's good that you're spreading awareness, but like, I see some of these celebrities and I'm thinking, wow, I mean, I don't feel like.
Well, I mean, our topic today, I got off of a celebrity's Instagram
big
page.
Old Snoop.
You know, like, it's like, yes, I get it. We should be spreading this message, but we need to look at these messages carefully, analyze them, and take action to go in the right direction. Because if not, we're just gonna be idiots with running around like chickens with our heads cut off. You know, like.
Yeah. And
honestly.
Also, so we had a rally here in our town.
Yeah.
And again, it was a rally for Black Lives, and there was a decent showing, to my surprise, in our very white town.
Yeah, we are in a very white town.
But I'm just seeing some people on my media feeds, and they're just saying to, like, the protest, the rally was started by a white girl, because she wanted to spread awareness. She wanted to do her part. She wanted to have a voice in this
good
bubble
reasons,
town.
Proper reasons, right?
And so she had a small group chat. She wanted to, spread awareness, get, make people aware of what's going on, get people involved. And unfortunately, because she didn't add, I guess some people were saying, sufficient amounts of people of color into the group chat when she was forming this whole movement. which to me doesn't seem like an issue. I don't care who's supporting.
Yeah,
Support is support.
Support is support. Whether you're,
If a bunch
Asian,
of neo-Nazis just said, yeah, fuck it, Black Lives Matter, I'd be like, okay, thank you.
I mean,
if they meant it.
I would be like, are you
I don't
you trolling?
Are you playing a joke? But yeah, I mean, and so I'm seeing
if they genuinely supported, then fine. If we have a bunch of even if we have, for example, a bunch of Middle Easterns who are also supporting, fantastic.
But I'm seeing people saying because it wasn't a person of color who hosted this, or because it wasn't a person of color, or there weren't as many people of color involved into the original start of the movement, people were shutting it down and saying to not go to it.
That's ridiculous.
And I was livid, so livid, because it's so backwards. And these are the same people that were advocating and still are, but they're just saying on their feed all week, like, hey, if you're not showing support on your social media, if you're not talking about this, you're joining the side of the oppressor. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But
okay, first of all, that's ridiculous. Holding the phone right there. If, for example, I wasn't to speak on this issue at all, then that doesn't make me racist.
Of course not.
That's so dumb.
Then it's hypocritical that she
it's completely hypocritical.
Shuts it down and it pissed me off. Even other people of color, they acknowledge this. Actually, there was a note from the university, the Caribbean club or Caribbean part of the university, saying that they will not be attending that rally because they didn't feel involved enough. And I'm just thinking
that
maybe involve yourself then.
Yeah, if you want to make a stand,
do something.
Get literally actually do something.
So
because if you sit there and be like, I'm grumpy because they didn't invite me directly. I just got the invite from everyone else, not the original organizer. That's when you're actually part of the problem, because you're being petty and not actually doing anything to help solve the problem. You're just being a little bitch.
And then so they're hosting another rally this Saturday.
Yeah.
So I mean, they, like the people who said not to go to the other rally, are hosting a rally.
Oh yeah, let me make my own rally.
I mean, whatever. It's still a rally, I guess.
I'm glad to have the support, but I mean, seriously, guys, this is getting ridiculous.
Kind of seemed petty.
It totally is.
And so yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, obviously, all lives matter.
Watch your mouth there, buddy.
Hey, there you go. You could be a freaking unicorn.
Oh, yeah. I don't think a unicorn's life matters, not gonna lie.
Excuse me?
Animal lives, that's debatable.
Unacceptable.
At the end of the day, humans are humans, treat each other like humans. However, treat black people better in America, please. And just in the world. Just treat... Yeah. And, yeah.
If we all were colorblind, or even if we were all blind, just straight up blind, this wouldn't be a problem. So why is it a problem? Because we can see. Why not appreciate differences instead of criticize them? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's. I mean, babies, they aren't racist. They aren't born racist. I don't think, personally, I really had an idea of race or racial matters or issues or whatever until probably damn near middle school.
I know, because before then, it doesn't matter. In fact, it doesn't matter.
It still shouldn't matter.
It really shouldn't, because seriously, like, it's 2020. We it's been 2020 years since a magical baby was born, and we're still talking about the fact that one of you has more melanin in your skin.
Yeah.
Really? Are you are you kidding me? Like, come on, people. Anyways, we're gonna wrap up for today, I think.
I agree.
Thank you all for listening to The Gray Area and listening to us ramble on. If you go out protesting, make sure it's protesting,
Be
not
safe.
rioting.
And wear a mask. Wash your hands. Don't be nasty. COVID's everywhere.
Yes.
Well.